You're watching Caribbean Vibrations TV, coming to you from David Hill in Montserrat, and we're speaking with Director of Tourism, Mr. Warren Solomon. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. There's a saying, make hay while the sun shines. Making a whole lot of hay today.
A bunch of bales.
Yes.
Now, we had the opportunity to take a hike where we started off on the cart and...
We ended at the Dewberry Cassava Trail. One of the things that Montserrat is very famous for is its trails network. So we're really glad that you were able to get a chance to do, one and a half of them. There are 8 named trails, but, your viewers may see at some point there's this island is completely mountainous, and it's covered with trails. So the main ones are the ones that are marked and easily accessible to people who like that sort of thing. But there are a whole lot of other trails, that can be discovered, preferably done with a guide, but, really exciting stuff.
And it was a great time for us because we did do that hike. Plus, we got to sail over to the private beach, beautiful beach, Rendezvous Bay, and we got to sample some of the best goat water in the Caribbean.
Yes.
But what are some of the other things people can do while in Montserrat?
One of my favorites is getting to know a little bit more about the history of the Air Studios. As you might know, Air Studios back in the 80s was one of the biggest, best, brightest, all the superlatives recording industries in the world. It was built by Sir George Martin, who was known popularly as the 5th Beatle. He was the manager of the Beatles. And I think practically every song that we shook our legs to in the 80s was recorded at Air Studios. I used to think that it was just the Police, being a huge fan of the Police. And when I came here, a few years ago, it was to find out that, everybody who was everybody, Stevie Wonder, Elton John, Boy George, Dire Straits, Rolling, everybody was here and did their thing. So there's a nice little place called the Hillside Cafe, and the owner there, he gives a very nice introduction to, what life was like in those days. He was around in those days, and so he's giving first-hand experience. And, really, really interesting, especially if you're into music and history and that sort of stuff. The other thing about this island is if you want to come and just switch off the engines, just ease back and relax, get back in touch with yourself, with nature, what have you, this is the perfect place, So I know that practically everybody who is looking at this right now wants to switch off at some point in time. So give us a shot. You can get a lot of information. We're happy to interact with you. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Island of Montserrat, is our handle. And we'd be happy to help anybody plan a trip to the island. It's all very easy. There are easy connecting flights and ferry, with flights coming in from Toronto. So we recommend it highly.
I love it. I want to thank you and the whole team for the great hospitality.
Our pleasure. Hope you come back again soon.
We will. And you're watching Caribbean Vibrations.